Hey everybody, welcome to the March release. Hey everybody, welcome to the March Instructure. Hold on. Hey everybody, welcome to the March 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome to the Instructure March update video / webinar / show. That's right. Let me share my screen. This will be casual. We meant to get this out about a week ago and before the release that happened over the weekend. If you're watching this today, it's Monday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm not wearing green at all. I should be wearing green. But none of you can pinch me, so sorry. I should be wearing green. I had the flu last week. It was a terrible, long, horrible week. I'm still getting caught up. It's no excuse. I'm going to get the video out after the release. Good news is the release isn't really too surprising. It's not very impactful, I think, for end users or instructors. So I'm not terribly worried to be in front of this one. But I do want to get the information out to you so that if you do have questions or follow up from the release over the weekend, that you can reach out to me and I'm happy to get more information for you. So let's go ahead and share my screen. Let me make sure that I am home tab. There we go. All right. So here we go into our March release. I want to start at the community homepage because it has all kinds of good information. Now, we are having office hours this week. If you're tuning in on Monday, March 17th, office hours begin for Alabama. Tomorrow will be Georgia, 3:30 Eastern time. Wednesday will be Florida. South Carolina is going to be on Thursday, 3:30 Eastern. I sent out emails with the respective Zoom links for each meeting. You're welcome to share that with faculty, instructors. I try to conduct the office hours open at that level for questions. For if there's workflow questions, any questions in general about Instructure or Canvas workflows, feel free to send your faculty to that open office hours session. We network there. I can answer questions. If I don't have the answer, I'll follow up with the information. Those are tend to be pretty productive. And I'm glad we have the resource. In the office hours this week, I'm actually going to be doing a run through of the release notes and the deploy notes. So very similar to this recording, this is just going to be kind of a supplement to the office hours this week. No special topic. I just wanted to use the time to kind of go through some of the information from the release and deploys to kind of preview some other events that are upcoming that I'm excited about. So that's what we're going to use this time for. I'm going to timestamp into an email newsletter format email that follows or with this video. So that's a great way for you guys just to jump right into the content that you're looking for. You don't have to listen to the whole show if you don't want to. Although I think it's worth it if you like witty banter and sarcasm. But if you want to skip to the good stuff, just the meat and potatoes of the presentation, then you're welcome to do that through the email. But today, again, I'm going to start with the community homepage. It's going to be about 20 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. And again, I hope to see you sometime, either on a monthly update call or the office hours this week. If we're not having regular calls, you're always welcome to schedule my time. Just find one of my old emails in my email signature. Usually there's a scheduling link at the bottom. If there's not, just reach out to me and I'll send you that scheduling link and you can connect with me. We can find a time that works just to chat. Love to talk strategy on how you're using Canvas. Let's take a look at the community homepage first. I think this is often forgotten, but this is a great resource. If you scroll down on the homepage and you take a look at the left column here, Discover Community Content, this is a great place to find weekly highlights, monthly reviews of the release notes. This is also a great way to kind of see a real quick glimpse into upcoming events. You'll notice the release notes, the last update is a little dated. It's back here on the 314 community updates 25 314. Actually, this is new. Some things got moved around since the last time I was in here. This is the oldest link, March 4th. Sorry. There is an update. I was looking for this earlier and I missed it. So let me touch on a couple of these. One, if you're interested in dark mode, this is a really great blog post published last week on dark mode design. We know it's upcoming. It's in lots of enhancements. Canvas is moving in the direction of offering dark mode throughout the LMS. This is a discussion on dark mode as it applies to the mobile application, but also as it applies to Canvas and some of the enhancements that are coming. I'm a fan of dark mode. I use it whenever it's available. I did not give much thought behind the scenes on how much work it goes into it. I definitely am appreciative of the development now of dark mode. This really has a great article, talks about dark mode, what's upcoming, how it's being applied, mobile applications today using dark mode. I find it's interesting as it refers to the icons, both in dark mode, light mode, monochrome for dark. I think it's interesting too, something I rarely think about from an instructional design perspective, or also as an administrator, is what can go wrong with dark mode when it comes to course content. So this is a great way, kind of exploring some of the things we should be mindful of with dark mode as administrators and instructional designers and developers. Check it out in blog post. Again, it applied all kinds of appreciation to me for dark mode development, but something to consider as we continue to roll out more and more enhancements around dark mode. So we do also link to the accessibility guidelines and compliance, the user guide there that's linked into the blog post, because that's definitely applicable. All right, I'm going to go back to back to the homepage again. I missed this in my office hours. I'm actually going to touch on this just real quickly. No, I didn't. This is what I was looking for. And I'm off. All right, so this is talking about in the community updates. This is bringing to your attention some of the recent UI developments and updates into the live events and webinars page, which is also an excellent area to go check out. The UI updates are really cool. It makes the filters much easier. Also makes the search functionality a lot cleaner. You'll find, and this is highlighting the Canvas developers group, is just one of many groups that are in the Canvas community. If you're a developer, you're into custom script, you're looking at doing things like that. If you're into Canvas data, you're looking at how to use data more effectively, different ideas there. There are lots of different groups within the community you can join. It's now easier to find them through these filters. There's a link into the group pages there as well as the events. The events are really much easier to sort this way, but you'll notice there's a different display. Also, another bonus here to the UI updates is the new and many more calendar option updates that have taken place. And so whatever calendar you use, even Yahoo calendars, you're out there. I know you are. I still got a Yahoo calendar. I don't use it, but I have it. But we have the ability to add to that calendar now. So also the new calendar UI is also really sleek and clean. I like the way that it displays in the calendar along with the pop-up information for the events. And I bring all of this to your attention because on the events page, up and coming soon, see if we can find it here through the direct link. This is a good event. So we've got some accessibility events coming up. If you scroll down, we have Ask Me Anything with Melissa Lobel. That'll be a really great event. I don't see it yet. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. So the new and next. This is exciting. Everyone's favorite new and next, which happens quarterly. This is products opportunity to kind of talk about the roadmap and to outline and go into more detail about what's upcoming. We create a resource roundup page from the new and next webinar. This is an hour-long webinar. The new and next for higher education. For all of you, this applies. It's going to be Wednesday, April 16th. You can register through the event. I will put this in the newsletter or the email that goes out with this recording, so you can jump right into it. You do have to register. It is free, of course. The live event is a little bit better than the recording. We will record it. The recording will be available after the event, but the live event is so much better to attend because the Q&A tends to be very helpful for both sides. It's great feedback for product, but it's also a great way to throw out questions in general about roadmap. It's great to hear live. So check that out. Add it to your calendar with the new calendar display, including Yahoo. I just had to do that. Mark, if you will attend, so you'll get reminders, but we hope to see you there. That's going to be a great event, so definitely check that out. That's been popular the fourth quarter last year. Great opportunity to look at product roadmap overall. All right, heading back to the homepage. Highlights. This is posted an hour ago. This is the new one I didn't see when we were in office hours today for Alabama. Sorry, Alabama. Let's take a look at it. These are one of my favorites because this is an update to what's happening with release notes. It also gives you just direct links and kind of a roundup on the upcoming events. So instead of going through the search or the filters, if you just want to see real quickly featured content for events, it's also posted here on the very top, community content. Down below, you'll see product blogs, any new ones that have been posted, anything that might apply or is exciting, interesting. Some Canvas data stuff posted here as there was an update with multi-table support, just if you're interested, not going into detail there, but check that out. And then down below, the API CLI changes, if you keep track of that. Just another way to keep track of releases or updates in Canvas. Deploy notes, the upcoming 320, the last two past release notes, and the deploy notes here as well. All right, we're going to jump backwards again. And we are going to go into our release notes. So Canvas LMS is what we're going to focus on today. I rarely go into some of the other areas unless we do maybe a one-off or we have additional calls to kind of follow up. So There's plenty to talk about in the release notes themselves for Canvas, so that's really the area that I'm going to focus on today. I like to go and view all release notes. And first up, I want to talk about the release notes for March. Before I go into the March release notes, you'll notice there's no red line. I'm excited about this. It's something that I want to highlight. If we go backwards, we see the opposite. In fact, if we go back to January, we see lots of red, lots of delays. This is something, of course, I want to apologize for on behalf of product, on behalf of our teams. It's something that I will say we hear you. We've received lots of feedback on the delays in the release notes. Many features from January were pushed into February. You'll notice again, we had a small chunk of those features again that were also pushed out until this month in March. Here's great news here. We don't have any more showing in March because feedback has been received. We are going to put a full stop. This is coming from product themselves. We definitely want to not continue that pattern. We put a full stop in because we received the feedback, and the assembly line is paused momentarily. No big releases, no enhancements until we make sure we get everybody on the same page as far as how this is being communicated out. So it's a good time anyways, because we don't like to typically make big changes at the end of a term or semester. We're getting close to finals. We're in spring break right now for many of you. We move into the summer, we're going to see the big things pop up because we get close to our conference. InstructureCon is a big time to make big announcements, big enhancements. There's a lull and some quiet time for you to test and to prepare for fall in that time. So that's usually when you'll see more releases. So we're getting into that quiet period, which works out well because we don't want to see any more of that red line within the release notes. I'm very confident just from conversations with product that is something that we're going to maintain moving forward. And so, yeah, that's what that little tweet means, is it's just saying you're right. That's what's going to happen. Okay, let's talk about some release notes. We're going to start off on the release notes tab. The release that just came out over the past weekend, and again, if you're watching this video this week, which is the week of the 17th, I'm after the release. So I was out with the flu last week. I apologize again. So I'm a little behind, but luckily the release is not that big, as we mentioned. So let's take a look at the release itself. If you'll notice, 3 of the enhancements that pushed from February are in the March release. So there's not a lot here that should catch us by surprise. Most of what's in here has been out for a few months, available for testing in your beta. So let's take a look at the notes, just some of the features. We're going to go into the notes. And the very first feature is one of those that pushed from February. So it's been in beta since January. This would be the copy content. This would be the copy course page enhancement. This is just updating the latest version of the Instructure UI. And this is giving more information when the term is selected. The dates will default to the term dates. And then it's giving additional information, really showing those dates and how they're tied together. So hopefully providing a little bit of clarity in this workflow that we've, there's typically questions that come up when it comes to term dates and your course start date and end date. So especially when you copy a course, of course, those dates are probably going to be different than the original. So you'll need to make modifications to those dates. So again, this is a feature as it goes into the production environment, available over the weekend. This is tied to permissions. So you must have the permission of manage course content and the add permission in order to have access to this as well. So not behind a feature flag, but again, kind of off by default unless the permission gives access to that. So shouldn't catch anyone off guard. Overall, a good enhancement to add additional UI. The next is going to be your discussions default view settings. This is also tied to permissions available in production currently. This is the permission of discussions create and discussions moderate. Okay, again, this is available in production when you are creating. Those that have the permission, instructors, faculty, creating or editing a discussion, you can now configure the default view settings, including the thread collapse, expansion, and sorting options that are available for students. And you have the ability to lock these preferences as well. So screenshots, again, showing additional options being added into the configuration thread. Overall, good enhancement as well. Import content page enhancements. So this is your import content. This is going to be niche. So for instructors, when doing the import, this is also a UI change or UI update. Notice that the add to import queue, the content import display screen down below shows information messaging in the UI has been updated. Overall, I think, again, good updates anytime we can enhance or add verbiage, add more information to the workflow. It's a good change. Moving into feature options. Again, feature options are features that are enhancements that are kind of still currently being baked. So you're welcome to take advantage of those in your production environment when they roll out, the changes that roll out. This one is for login and registration enhancements for Canvas login users. So if you have Canvas as your primary or Canvas as a secondary or backup, this would pertain. This is available for really the display, or the effect of this enhancement is available for all users. So this is the update login, new login registration UI available at the root account level, which can pass down into sub accounts. The user interface is redesigned for accessibility and enables future identity enhancements as well. Some screenshots here of the updates. And then we finish up with the feature options. So again, not a real heavy release. We go into the general call out of accessibility updates, enhancing structural clarity, improving error feedback. There's a small change here. Developer keys. The Lucid developer key has an update and course copy support being added to that key. So nothing you really have to worry about. That this takes place on its own in production with the update. Scrolling back up to the top. Apologize for my scroll. We're going to go back to the release notes page, and we're going to flip over into the deploy tab. Take a look at our recent deploy, or upcoming deploy, and then our recent deploy. First, we'll take a look at the last deploy, which was 3.12. Fairly a large deploy. There's been an update here since the deploy has gone out, so we'll take a look and see what that update is. Interface updates, public course search interface update. Again, deploys, just as a reminder, they're typically enhancements, modifications to existing functionality. We roll them directly into production. If it's a big feature, there may be some advanced awareness and some type of enablement feature. For the most part, it's not. It's just going to be rolled into production. Deploys don't typically have large changes, and so they're not. We don't roll them into beta for testing first. So they really deal more with bug fixes than anything, and then you'll see some enhancements that are just further enhancements to previous enhancements that have already been rolled out. So public courses. When searching for public courses, the error states it will appear when no entries are found. So update verbiage here for public searches. A notification tab redesign. So notifications has a drop down with multiple options inside the tab. Drop down menus new. Again, just accessibility driven, but also just kind of cleaning up some of the UI. So notice the from name also changing with the drop down selection. People, updated link to students modal. So in the course people page, the links to students modal has been updated using the latest version of UI. The institutions with JavaScript, custom cascading style sheets, you would want to be aware of this because this could cause some complications with your custom script, as support does not, of course, can't assist with custom script. And at times when we roll deploys or releases, we may inadvertently break that script. This is one of those we're kind of calling out, red flag, just be aware. So if you've seen any issues, it may be related to this deploy. But notice the update overall just improves accessibility changes, consistency, and usability for the improved overall user experience. Login information, modal information, or interface update. So again, this is user detail page. The add login and update login modals have been updated using the latest version of the UI. Again, this is accessibility driven, consistency, usability for overall improved experience. So small changes going along with the accessibility themes that you see. Going down to feature options, again, items that are in baked or being baked. Yeah, that's it. Filter IP addresses. So in new quizzes, this is kind of a smaller call out, but maybe a larger impact. New quiz settings, the instructors can now filter IP addresses by entering a custom group range or selecting from the existing named group ranges. So input custom group range for IP, filter IP is an option under settings in new quizzes. Yet another reason why new quizzes continues to kind of separate itself out from the classic model. So keep that in mind. SpeedGrader. So this is a bigger update tied to the January release and rollback of discussions, multiple due dates, or discussions checkpoints. Had some downstream effect. Product made some adjustments, some fixes to how that was affected. It is tied again to discussions checkpoints. So the SpeedGrader enhanced usability will not be seen or felt unless you're using discussions checkpoints. That'll be off by default. You must re-enable it in production. So it is available in production again, rolled out from that January release. If you turn it on, you'll also That will enable the enhanced usability because this is a deploy for discussions checkpoints automatically. It's tied to permissions for creating and moderating discussions. If you have any questions, reach out to me. There may be a little bit of confusion with enabling this or making sure that it's connected to discussions checkpoints. So just say contact your customer success manager. So discussions or checkpoints has been available in beta for some time now, a number of months for testing. If you're only wanting to roll it into production, I would recommend testing it first in your beta, and then you can test it also with these changes in place as well now that they've been rolled out into production. So this just runs through, and there's also a blog post tied into many of my notes. I'll include that into the email as a call out as well that talk through some of these enhancements in the deploy. From there, that takes care of this particular deploy. Let's roll back into the upcoming deploy. Again, a small deploy on 326. This was just published last week. Take a look at the updated features in this upcoming deploy. People in the merge user page interface has an update. So in merge users, pages and modals are being updated to the latest version of UI. A warning message has been added to highlight that this action is irreversible. This is overall a good change as well. Whenever you do a merge, there's always a possibility, because this is tied to permissions and managing login information. You can have a low level or an instructor with the ability to do this. And merging can be a bigger task than at the instructor level. And so with this option, this does do some pretty big call outs. In the preview and confirm, it's going to show you the source that will be removed from the merge, and then the target that will be kept, and then the merge data will be placed into. It also calls out that this cannot be undone. So this is irreversible. So a lot of times we get into situations where maybe it's accidental or we don't understand the merge process, and then the merge is complete. And then we've got kind of a mess to clean up from there. So this ensures that we know both visually and, again, calling out with verbiage what's happening in this process. New quizzes. This is a great one. Multiple selections and hotspots is rolled out and will be rolling out into production. This is great for a lot of our medical departments, institutions, nursing programs have had this request in for some time. This allows instructors to enable multiple correct selection spots in hotspot quizzes. This is, again, a new quiz feature. So again, more and more incentive to use new quizzes over classic quizzes. If you have questions about these features or wanting to know more about new quizzes, please reach out and let us know, and I can schedule calls to help walk you through that process. Selecting multiple areas, again, is now possible with new quizzes hotspot. Finally, sysimports, the file import interface update. So this is really just UI changes, again, adding which is more common now, modern UI of a file import or a drag and drop, kind of a landing zone. It's just much bigger visual accessibility, again, and easier to use for dropping a file. So whenever, again, you're going to see the constant theme of accessibility updates again and again and again, and we're seeing that in a lot of our enhancements. So mention there is an event that was happening today on accessibility, WCAG. So take a look at the community highlights again. Just be aware of events that are happening out there. I think that would be a great event to check out. And that takes us through all of the release notes and the deploys for the month of March. Keep an eye out for April. Should be a much bigger month because we're going to have our new and next. So we'll have a resource roundup. And we're going to have lots of big things to talk about going into the summer. I'm excited to ramp up to InstructureCon. I'm excited to get into summer. Gives us some time to test and to try out some new processes. Again, if you're looking at using Canvas more strategically, you want to know more about what's out there, what's included in the core LMS, and how can we use this more and more. We're going to have conversations about outcomes, about rubrics, and some of the updates that have happened in rubrics. Please reach out to me. Let me know schedule time. I'm happy to jump in and talk about these things. So hope you guys have a great week. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and happy St. Patrick's Day for the week. Happy spring break for many of you, and can't wait to talk to you again soon. And have a great weekend upcoming.